ask away.
Well, you knew you were in, but wait until the very last name announced. Does it get nerve-wracking or just build the anticipation?
Well, I think anticipation. I mean, you think you're in, but you never know. I mean, there's been screwier things that have happened, and certainly can't. It's out of your control once you get to a certain point. So we got the opportunity, and we're certainly grateful. I mean, that's 16 years. That's a lot of consistency in those players in the program.
To go on the road and go far on the road to Corvallis, what do you think of the initial draw?
I think our guys love going on the road. I'll be honest with you. I think they like playing on the road, and I don't think it would have mattered where we go. They'll be excited about the opportunity. They'll be excited to play. They'll be excited to show their best self in any environment. We've been to Corvallis before, albeit it was a time ago. None of these kids were on that trip, but they've got a very good program. Mitch is he's a great coach, and it's a good environment. But we've got other business to contend with before we even get to that. But good environment.
How much familiarity do you have with San Diego? Zero.
I mean, I know their coach, but outside of that, not this year. I've seen them from afar, but no, not this year.
What does it mean to be in a regional with Oregon State? That's another team that has had a lot of Omaha experience, a lot of postseason, success.
It's just San Diego. I mean, you don't know if you're going to play those other teams. We're in Oregon State's stadium, but we're not necessarily playing them. So we're playing San Diego.
I know that in the past you've usually just gone with your number one guy in the first game. How do you weigh, potentially using Carter in that first game versus, the second game could be very tough if you play Riggs?
We don't have, we've just got a good pitching staff. I don't, as the boys know, we don't tab 1, 2s, and 3s. We'll match up accordingly. I think we look at San Diego and who they are, and we'll have to do what we do against them to have success. But as far as what's going to happen in terms of who's going to pitch, we'll just make that determination here soon.
Tim, what do you say to the guys to kind of reset, refocus now? This is a new time of year.
We talked about it yesterday. I mean, it's June. It's completely different. Doesn't matter what you've done in February, March, April, May. This is June, and we've been in June quite a bit, and we like June. And June's been good to Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt's been good to June. So we just take pride in being able to play.
What will be the most important thing over the next 48, 72 hours as you start to get ready, get on the road?
I just think just to get outside and train again. They've 2 days off, and I think that was good for them, just to do something outside of baseball. So I think the most important thing is getting on the field this afternoon. It's later this afternoon, which is good, because there's certainly, when you go that distance, there's a lot of logistics that we have to contend with, and you can't forget about all the people that put so much time into this program that get us there, which is, as I've said, we've been there before, so we know what it's like, and it's not an easy place to get to. But I think outside of that, the kids will be fine. They just want to play again.
One of the D1 guys just tweeted, it would be interesting to see if Vandy can flip the switch because they're looking to block in the SEC tournaments. Do you feel that at all about your team? And what's the challenge to flip the switch?
I don't even believe in that, and I don't really care what anyone says. I want to play with the kids. I just want to get the kids on the field to play.
Is there anything though? I mean, the track record speaks for itself in June. This is maybe one of the first times where people look at Vandy and say, "Oh, can they really do something?" Do you discuss that at all, or use that as motivation in any way?
No, it doesn't matter. The only thing that matters is what's inside our kids' head, and we control that. So I think we understand that we've been in a conference that is very difficult to play in, particularly this year. And when you start looking at the totality of what we've done, it's pretty good resume. There's a lot of good wins in there. There's a lot of good road wins in there. It's the #1 strength of schedule in the country. And not that I RPI's everything, but there's a reason why we're sitting at a certain level. But you've got to play. It doesn't really matter what's on paper. You've got to play the game better than the opponent, and that's what we want to do when we open up against San Diego.
You've got such a young squad. Is it difficult getting those youngsters to understand this is Jim, the message you're trying to get out there?
You got a lot of help. I mean, you've got a lot of kids on this team like the two guys you're going to talk to that help in that regard too. And I think when you're a parent or you're a coach, you have to rely upon your older kids inside the program to help you with a lot of different things. But we're young and we're not, and there's some kids that have had a lot of postseason experience, so they're excited about getting the opportunity to play. I mean, there's some good teams that got left out, and we weren't one of them. And you could, in this conference, you could be left out. And I'm not going to make judgment on who should have or who would have. It doesn't matter. The fact is, we're in, and we're happy to be in, and we're happy to play well going forward.
How do you go about controlling what's in your kids' heads, as you mentioned?
Meet with them, be with them, communicate with them. Much like a parent would with their kids, right? How your kids leave the house is a direct reflection of what you were talking about at the breakfast table. So if they leave in a certain mood or a certain way, it's because of the communication that's taken place before they've left the home. Our home's pretty strong, and we've got some kids that know how to manage that home as well.
How have you handled that communication since the Kentucky game, and how have your guys responded to that?
Yeah, we met last night. Had a good meeting last night, and we'll meet again before we get on the field today. And it's just kind of business as usual. You've been here about the same amount of time I have, right?
Yeah.
And you've seen end of the year SEC tournaments, right?
Yes.
And you've seen us play well after that, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Tim, you hit up the top 16 straight years, just in general. This day always kind of marks a successful year in a lot of ways. To be here again, what's that say about your program?
I just love the consistency of it. There's a lot of people that have a lot to do with it. It's the kids in particular. There's when you're inside this program and you've had that type of consistency, there is a level of protection that takes place with them, and I'm sure that over time it's like we want to make sure we protect this program as best as we can, and there's probably a deep feeling that goes along with that, and some of it is I'm sure at some points in time it can be stressful for them, and you don't want that. You want them to get on the field and just play, which we will do, but I think the fact that they can create that consistency and harmony on a daily and yearly basis is a direct reflection of the kids and the staff that is associated with our program, and we're proud of it.
Any of the injured guys potentially coming back for this?
Like anyone in particular?
Jack
Anderson, he's day to day. I just don't know.
Anything else from Coach?
Coach, thank you.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Thank you.
Happy Memorial Day. I appreciate your questions.
Happy Memorial.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Enjoy talking.